We're going to go ahead and get started.
Viewers right now.
What we're doing today is we have a makeshift house that talks about flow path and also will demonstrate flashover and backdraft. This design is not my design. This design came from some fantastic instructors from around the country, and what they'll do is they'll send the plans and then they'll ask to modify the plan to see what you get out of it. So what we did the other day was, when I got the plans, Firefighter Ahl, Lieutenant Vernon, and Gargus, they built the house for me. But what we changed a little bit on it was, these holes here are normally plugs. We put slides in it just to see if it will help us any. On the inside, if you want to come around and look, we have a hole that the fire will travel through. Normally on the inside, it's an 8x8 hole, but we cut it as a doorway to see if we can get the Venturi effect. Everybody understand what the Venturi effect is? So we're trying to get the Venturi effect from this room to this room and see if we can get some volatile smoke to come out. Okay? Why do you think we have boxes like this? Well, the main reason why we have boxes like this is because our fires are going down, right? But injuries are continuing and firefighter fatalities are continuing. Why is that? Because lack of experience. If we look at Birmingham, what happened just about 5 years ago? We had a buyout. We lost hundreds of years of experience. So now we have young people that are officers, young AOs riding the seat. They're not really familiar on how to read smoke. They're not familiar on how to attack. They're not familiar how to control the flow path. So now we still have people coming, or firefighters going in and getting injured. This is a very cheap way to instruct our new officers, new AOs that are coming in to ride the seat about fire behavior. This box here costs $16. That's it. And it's a fantastic prop. What has been added to this is, before it was just a 4-compartment box, but the instructors around the country added a peak. And if you come around the back side, they've also added vertical ventilation to demonstrate how vertical vent works and what kind of response you will get out of it. So the way we control the attic is we have an opening right here. So we'll pull this slide to control the attic. And then we'll pull this slide to control vertical ventilation. Okay? Luke, if you want to go ahead and get started. So all we basically do is just, on the inside, is ordinary materials such as paper, cardboard, a little bit of wood. Why we chose this type of wood to use to build the boxes, this is what they're using in modern construction in our homes and apartments around our city. This is your decking, this is your decking for the roof, this is your floors that we're going to be dealing with, especially south side and north side. The truss systems, not really worried about the truss systems that we talked about before. We're worried about the OSB failing before the truss. So once we get the fire going, then we'll start demonstrating the volatile of smoke. We'll start showing the neutral plane. You'll actually get to see it. Hopefully you'll get to see the bi-directional flow path. The thing about these houses though are, they're very finicky. And what I mean by finicky is they work by what the weather dictates us. Today it's kind of cool and damp. It's going to get kind of hard to get going with this fire. If it was a real dry day with a light wind, we can make this house do whatever we want it to do. So hopefully we actually get it going pretty good and see what we can get. Does anybody have any questions? Anything at all while we're getting going?
That's the same wood that's in Regions, right? Same, those apartments by Riverville.
Yes. Yeah. Need some milk? Yes, please. Hey, Gargus. Go get me some more newspaper. The hardest part of this whole thing is getting it started.
Joey, where's your turn out? We'll get a little gas.
No, we don't want to do gas. Experimenting with gas at the house. It was not a good outcome.
So not good, huh?
No, I didn't even get the lighter to the hole in the box. Boom! Yeah, Mom was like, "What happened?" Nothing.
As you were.
Yeah, nothing took place. We're okay. Going to tell a little story on myself. The very first one ever built at Station 2 with Benson and Jason Olsen. I burned my eyebrows off. It was bad. It was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah. You ain't gonna get the hell of it, baby.
Like when it comes to man.
Okay. So you can kind of see now we got good flame coming out through here, right? So how does fire work? It goes up and out, correct? So now we're starting to get going. What if we start controlling that air just a little bit? So say we start bringing that down and we start opening this up. Where's it going to travel to? It's going to travel to that side. Why? That's where the air is. That's where it wants to go. So if we open this back up just a little bit more. That ain't big enough. Are we out of wood?
No, there's some right there. Right.
Yeah, just throw all that in there. We gotta get that fire going. What we did before, we took the thermal imager to see what kind of effect that we got out of this hole. As you can see, if you bank down, you start seeing it coming out of the hole right there, so it's starting to travel. So let's close this off just a little bit and see what happens. Where's it gonna go?
What opened it?
Should start coming this way. As you can see, look at the volatile smoke we're getting out of there now.
Oh yeah.
So we just crack this just a little bit. Get a little bit of air. We're not doing anything right yet. Let's get that fire going.
Yeah,
it's starting to come out this way.
All right, we're starting to get it good now.
There you go. Now you can probably close what's over there.
Okay. We start closing this off a little bit. So this is the new design we did with that door. We weren't quite sure how it would work. It looks like it's working okay. We're starting to get some. If you guys bank down, you can start seeing it come in just a little bit in here. So we shut it off completely. So we shut this off. What happened to that room? Even with that door open, what happened? Kind of took the flame away. But we open it up a little bit, give a little bit of air. Now it should start going. So now we have that low ghosting effect, right? We had a little wind to it. What happens? So now we have it coming out pretty good here. See that volatile smoke, you're getting close to what? Flashover. So we just had a little bit right there. So when we shut that off, open this one back up. Let's go ahead and open that door up. We open this up. What's going to happen up here? Look at that volatile smoke that's going up there. So a young recruit comes and opens that door. You can start seeing it suck in just a little bit, right? We got a good windy day. So he comes, kicks this door in. It starts traveling. See how it's traveling? Now we got good smoke, good fire coming up there, right? What happened up here when I took all the air away? Fire went out, but what kind of smoke are we dealing with?
It's still coming out fast.
You got, how do we read smoke? Velocity, density, color. So we open her up. We start moving a little bit. Let's open this side up. You got a little flash out of it, right? So what happens when we start messing with the gable up top? For all you vertical vent guys. Got pretty good smoke going. So what happens up here if we were to take a lighter? Close it off. Pre-flashover smoke, right? Open a little. What's happening now? It's puffing. Why is that? We have a limited air here, but a major air going in there, right? So it's still getting some type of oxygen, right? Yep. What if we take a lighter to this? What will happen?
I ain't getting a lot of
Careful, buddy.
Let's open this up. Since we got a lot of volatile smoke, what's going to happen?
That's ready.
We got a lot of heated gas.
Yeah.
How are you going to do anything up there? Can you do anything up there? No, you ain't going to be able to do anything up there. So look what happened. We had a double flashover that took place there, right? So now we seal it off. Come in, open that door back up. Rookie comes in, breaks this glass. We have that double flashover again, right? So now, okay, we come in for that vertical vent. We open the attic. What happened at the gable? What's happening up here? Smoke change. Rookie comes in, busts in the glass.
On the video is not picking it up.
Must open another glass. You got 3 stories of flame now, right? Anybody survive that? So what are we looking at with smoke here? Velocity, density, color, right? So what's about to happen? So if I take a lighter, oh, hey, what that thing?
Might want to wet this down.
Look what happened to the gable. Gable lit off. All right. So what happened up top? Luke, hand it over here. Look at the velocity of that smoke coming out of the gable. What do we got on the tick? Open the 4th floor. Open the 2nd floor. Also, we come in and open the fire floor. Right? So now we cut it off. Over 1,000. Cut this off. Come in with vertical ventilation. Open the door. Look at the smoke that's coming out of the attic from vertical ventilation. But here's the key. Look at that vertical vent. Look at everything coming out here. But what's happening to the fire room? It's still burning. We can't quite get enough vertical ventilation to get all the heat and gases out, right? So what is the main thing we got to do to control it? Control your air intake. Looks like a choo-choo train going in, right? Come in with this. So all this is demonstrating is, what are we doing with our ventilation? Overventilated, what happened?
Fire growth.
Everything took off, right? Look at the vertical vent. Air is our enemy, people, right? So for ventilation, what do we got to do first? If we're going to ventilate, what is the first thing we have to have in front of ventilation? What is the first thing we have to do before ventilation?
Communication.
Suppression. Suppression before ventilation. Right?
Yep.
Now we're sealed back up. Look at the volatile smoke. So we open that. Look at that. That's us. It's not the first flashover or rollover that kills us. It's the second flashover or rollover that will kill us, right? How you going to do VES in that? That's going to be hard, right? Especially when you come in and open that door up. And now it's lit off.
What's your number 3 room?
Number 3 room is the room that has the doors closed. You still have volatile smoke because it's burned through right now. Luke, hit it real quick. Up top. But it has not lit off. The key to this prop is to show what ventilation does, what air does to the fire. Look at how pressurized that building is. It's just a box and you come in, start opening stuff up, and you start lighting stuff off. Right? We're getting close to it. So what is burning up here?
Gas.
Gas. Oh, Luke, we're burning back here, bud. The attic is what's impressive. So he's hitting it back here with a fog nozzle. What happened up front? Where'd the fire go? Hey, Luke, come hit this real quick, bud.
Grab that other pump.
Put that down. Look at that attic. What are we getting at that attic with the tick?
What
What are you getting on the tick?
What are we getting at the tick on the attic? Up top.
You got real, huh?
Okay, at the attic.
Yeah, they got real, boss.
At the attic, we're seeing that's coming out of this little box in the attic. Right?
Let me get downhill.
This is what we're dealing with every day. This is what we're starting to deal with every day. Anybody got any questions? Nope. Everybody choked out? All right, let's let the light on.
Everybody needs
Let's get some of this
to
smoke
CBA.
And now, last but least, our vertical vent.
Oh yeah.
Lights off.
It's gone now.
Enemy.
That's all.
What is our enemy?
There.
Air. So when we go to ventilate, what's the first thing we got to do? Go ahead and knock it down.
Control the air.
Suppression.
Suppression before ventilation. Look at just a little bit of water, how the conditions change. Just a pump can. So what do we do? Suppression, come back with ventilation, control it, right? So when we're dealing with fire, if we're venting for fire, suppression first, then ventilation. Any questions? Like I said, 16 bucks. I'm surprised it worked as well as it did today because of the conditions. Does anybody have any questions? Anything at all? Like I said, it's a pretty good little prop.
Good try.
Go ahead now.
Take it hard from the yard.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put it out. Anybody have any questions at all? Anything? Go ahead.
You guys will
Real
think
quick.
Think back to the way we used to do things back in the day when you would come, you'd take out all the windows. You see what that would do for us. And so things changing and learning more about fires and learning more about how to fight fires, it's a change in mentality and a change in the way we do things. And that's not just here, but when you're talking about suppression, all right, well then you're talking about a supply line. So if you got heavy smoke showing, what are we going to do? We're going to need water, right? So I'm just saying there's a lot of things that mentality-wise that's going to change based on things that we know now. You know, the way that we're fighting fire, what the actual method of fighting fire is. So I just going to
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
make a comment there.
That's from the incident commander side. He's thinking long term. I'm looking at first arriving apparatus. So what I'm looking at, and a lot of people talk about the survivability profile. I do a survivability profile. A lot of people out there will say, well, we are their survivors. You are correct. We are their survivors. But if we open this up and it flashes on us as we're making entry, what kind of survivor are we? We're not a really good survivor. So as a first arriving unit, you have got to be able to read smoke. You've got to know what you're looking at. You've got to be able to know what size line to pull, where to put it, and where the flow path is going. You've got to be able to identify that as soon as you arrive on scene. Not only that, you've got to communicate it to the battalion chief and to the next incoming units. So what is it after you communicate it? You control it. Once you start getting units in place, the first arriving officer is the incident commander. So he is going to have a little bit of say. So he starts controlling it. What's the next thing he's going to do? He's going to coordinate it. He's going to be the conductor. He's going to coordinate the way everything takes place until Battalion 2 shows up or whoever. do a face-to-face. If he doesn't like what I got or what the officer's got, he's going to change it, right?
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So if you got the first driving crew doing the general search, should the second driving crew, they should not open or go in? I mean, I know it's a case by case, but typically, if they're going to take a hose, they should go to that window.
That's right.
Where they're doing the general search to back them up.
VES is done without a hose.
Yes, sir.
It's done without any of that. So say, what are we going to do on the first thing we arrive and we got to do VES? What do we got to identify first? But our target hazards. What are our target hazards? Bedrooms, correct? Where most of our people are found in bedrooms. So we'll say this is our fire floor. This is a bedroom. This is a high risk. You've got to be educated and know what you're doing. So if we take our tick and look, we see we got a back door back there. What's the first thing we're going to do when we get in? Close the door. Why? Because it's been shown doors have proven to control smoke and fire. Close the door, do a quick search, and then come back out, right? All of it's got to be coordinated and communicated, though. It's changed to VEIS. A lot of people don't like the new acronym. I'm sorry, you know, it's just part of it. But VES is a very skill-oriented task. Actually, Atlanta's got a bunch of VES classes coming on over there. I suggest you guys take it. But just be mindful of what you're walking into, because you're walking into some suit. All right, just be careful. And what I would do, and this is what is taught for VEIS, don't take the window out with the ladder. Take a tool, because why? You want to control everything. Everything's got to be controlled. Take the tool, break the window out, check it with your tick, see if you're able to get in. Go in. If you have a pike pole or anything, have the pike pole sticking out. Have the point going out the window. Why you want that? Because that's the way you know you're going out. Once I hit that pike pole with the point out, that's the window. That's the way I'm going. Before you shut the door on VEIS, check outside the door in the hallway, then shut the door, and then continue your search. All right?
One other thing on that.
Go ahead.
All right, he talked about commander, the incident commander, the first arriving incident company being the incident commander, and doing what he does till Battalion 2 gets there. That's assuming Battalion 2 gets there. So this is why you have to know this job. You have to know your job. You have to know what you're going to do, because I may have a flat tire, or whoever it is may have a flat tire, and you're going to be the incident commander at this incident. So you have to make those decisions based on this knowledge, and it's going to be your decision how this thing goes. You're going to have to identify those things and do those things. So don't assume that a battalion chief is going to get there, or a captain or somebody else. That's going to be your decision. So that's why this craft, this specialized learning training, that's why it's important, because you're going to be making decisions based on it.
Everybody talks about the transitional attack or resetting the fire or whatnot. Every fire cannot be reset from the outside. And if that's all you're hearing is we're going to put water on the outside on every fire, you're not listening. You are not listening at all. What everybody's trying to teach is learn how to read smoke, because you're going to have to go into it. You're going to have to go into it. We can't be garden gnomes on everything. Why? Because the public doesn't expect that out of us. We have got to go in, but we've got to be knowledgeable in what we're going into. Right? Yep. Anybody got any questions? Anything at all?
Sure.
I sure do appreciate you guys coming out. I'm happy the box kind of worked.
Well, it worked all right.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Isolate. The I in VEIS is isolate.
Isolate.
Yep.
If I can make it available, Clay, I'm gonna make it available.
Okay.